All right, fellas, week 8 of the NFL is in the books, well, except for Commanders versus Chiefs Monday Night Football. My name is Cam from All Talk Sports, back again with another waiver wire edition video. Here's how you're going to win your league. I'm telling you, week 9's waiver wire has some stars on it, but let's go over the week 8 injury report. First, Cam Scadaboo is out for the year with an ankle injury. Disgusting. Prayers up to Cam. Quinshon Judkins is labeled as day-to-day by Kevin Stefanski with a shoulder injury. I think it's actually going to be worse than day-to-day, but let's just see how it plays out. We had Saquon Barkley. I think he left in the third or the fourth quarter with a groin injury. They were already smacking the Giants, so it doesn't really seem to be too severe. At least that's what the Eagles are saying. We had Luther Burden leave the game with a concussion. Drake London and A.J. Brown didn't even suit up for week 8. Drake London was a game-time decision. Sorry for you guys who had Drake London. I'm sorry for you guys who had any of that Atlanta Falcons offense, except for, I guess, Kyle Pitts. But I had Bijan Robinson. Thought he was going to eat against the Miami defense. No, it was the other way around. And then A.J. Brown, a hamstring injury. But let's get right into it. The priority ad this week is going to be Tyrone Tracy. Listen, last year, weeks 9 through 17, you can see he had a top 13 finish, a top 17 finish, top 11 finish, top 17 finish. As a rookie last season, he broke 1,000 yards total from scrimmage. So I think Tyrone Tracy will be more than fine stepping up into this RB1 role. Now, they do also have Devin Singletary, who I think is going to cut into Tyrone Tracy's workload more than he did last year. So last year, Tracy was obviously a rookie. Singletary was the lead back. And about weeks 9 through 17 is kind of where the snap percentage, you guys can see 70%, 80%, 71%, 85%, 67%, 66%. So Tyrone Tracy has been a workhorse back before. And I honestly think he's going to be back into this role into where he's probably getting 60% of the snaps, 60% of the snaps. So how good this Giants offense is going to depend on how good Tyrone Tracy and Jackson Dart are, because obviously they're losing, or they've already lost Malik Neighbors, they've already lost Cam Scadaboo. How much more can they lose and still be a productive offense? I don't know, but the priority ad this week, if you're a struggling team, if you have the number one waiver claim, if you have fab dollars left, is to get Tyrone Tracy. There's not going to be many weeks where there's a starting RB1 who I think will give you 10 to 15 points on a weekly basis on the waiver wire. Tyrone Tracy is the guy to get. Now, a solid pickup. So we had the priority ad and Tyrone Tracy. We had 3 solid pickups, and then we're going to give you our long shot picks. And some of those long shot picks from a few weeks ago have absolutely smacked. So if you guys want to see more of this content and like NBA, like NFL, like all this sports stuff, make sure you guys subscribe down below. We're on the road to 20K subscribers. We're actually at 19K, so I really, really appreciate it. But let's go into Dylan Sampson, who week 1 without Quinshon Judkins, because Judkins was suspended or not signed, sorry. He had 45% of the snaps, 52% of the rush attempts, 31% of the routes, and scored 17.3 fantasy points. Mostly because I think he had like 8 catches or something like that. But since then, I mean, he's averaging 5.2 points per game because of Quinshon Judkins and how elite he's been. Now, Judkins, I think, will probably play this week, but I don't think he's going to get the workload that Quinshon Judkins usually gets because of this injury. Listen, they've been using him on all 3 downs, and obviously it hasn't been working. The Browns can't pass the ball. Okay, Dylan Gabriel and Stefanski, their game plan is to run the football and throw to their tight ends and running backs. This kid, I think he just had 6 catches last game. I think he had double-digit fantasy points. I understand Judkins went down with the shoulder injury. They were playing the Patriots team who struggles, or running back struggles against them defensively. But this kid in a PPR format, he could be an easy plug-and-play every single week. I think he's a solid pickup. And I also think Malik Washington is going to be a solid pickup. Now, there's rumors, and I know they just got a win, but there's rumors that Jalen Waddle is on the trade block in real life. If Jalen Waddle gets traded, Malik Washington is going to step up and be the wide receiver 1. Now, Darren Waller, he's on the IR, I understand. In my opinion, I've seen Darren Waller injuries before plenty of times. I don't think he's going to play another game this season. I really don't. So if we see the workload of 4 straight games with 4+ receptions, now, I'm talking bye weeks. Like, we just had 6 teams on bye. I'm talking bye weeks. I'm talking you got like injured play. You had Malik Neighbors. You had Mike Evans. You have these Drake London players who are out. Malik Washington in a deep league, or you have 2 flex or something like that. He could be a play every single week. I mean, the targets have been there. He's gone every single game but 2 games this season without 5 targets. And in some of these weeks, you have Tyreek Hill. Some of these weeks, you have Darren Waller, Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle. So, hey, I'm just saying a solid pickup could be Malik Washington. He's probably going to fly extremely under the radar this week with all the running backs. And another running back, literally the only reason I'm picking Tank Bigsby up is A, he's seen RB 1A, 1B type workload in Jacksonville when it was Travis Etienne and him last year. Tank is kind of that bigger back at the goal line. So if you want a guy who's going to score touchdowns, this could be the dude. Only rostered in 22.8% of leagues. It's simply because of the Saquon injury. I mean, without, if Saquon's healthy, this dude is, probably should be rostered in 0% of leagues. I'm just a little hesitant on the Saquon injury. He's an older running back, obviously. He probably is, seen... He's already had his best seasons. I mean, it was one of the best, if not the best, running back season of all time last year if you played the last week. I'm just worried about the workload. I'm worried about if he gets injured again. I'm worried if they rush him back because this Eagles team, they looked great yesterday. Yesterday I'm recording this against the New York Giants. But Saquon, man, I hope he's healthy going forward. But because the Eagles have a elite schedule going forward, like for fantasy owners of running backs. So if you can grab Tank Bigsby, if you have Saquon, go ahead and grab him. Before we get to the next one, make sure you guys check out Dabble Fantasy today. Today is actually the sports equinox. If you're seeing this on Tuesday, it was yesterday, Monday, but you pick more or less on your favorite athletes in every single sport: the NFL, the NBA, NHL, MLB, UFC, etc. And with my code AllTalkSports, you get a free $25. You don't even have to put in a single buck. That's my favorite part about Dabble. Brand new users, you get free $25. Link in the description. You pick more or less on your favorite athletes in every single sport. I love doing touchdowns. I love doing more on receiving yards. I really love doing touchdowns, to be honest. But yeah, check out Dabble Fantasy today. And our last solid pickup, I don't have a lot on Mr. Chimere DK. I don't know. But listen. Back-to-back weeks scoring 16 points in the Tennessee offense, you're going to be added to the list. Now, he probably already is rostered in your league. I guess, maybe not. 31% rostered, 12% start. He actually was started in my 12-man league because of the Drake London injury. But listen, Alec Aomanor, not really the dude. I'm not going to lie. I loved him going into this draft. He's not really the dude, okay? This kid is the dude. Calvin Ridley, I don't know. Could he be traded? Probably. Could he be dropped in your fantasy league? Probably. Is he going to come back from injury? Probably not. But yeah, not much to say about him except for he gets the most targets, the most route runs on this team, and Cam Ward just loves him. And they're going to be losing a lot. So positive game script. They're going to be passing the ball a lot. I would go pick him up in a heartbeat. Now, my long shot pickups. I've been loving doing this. First up, we got Jalen Coker. Panthers offense is probably on the low right now because of Andy Dalton. Bryce Young is probably going to be coming back this week. I think Jalen Coker will be the wide receiver 2 in this offense. Brashard Smith, I actually am, planning this as he goes off tonight. It's an 11-point spread between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Washington Commanders, meaning that the positive game script is for the Chiefs, meaning they're going to run the ball a lot. If Isaiah Pacheco doesn't look good, Kareem Hunt's already going to this game banged up. He's going to play, but it's going to be banged up. Brashard Smith could score a touchdown, and he could be on the long shot pickup list. Jadon Blue fumbled this week, but he actually got a decent amount of run against this Denver team. I know they're kind of playing their backups throughout the game because the Cowboys were being spanked. But Jadon Blue, again, if anything happens to Javonte Williams, he will be an absolute workhorse back. Trey Tucker, I just saw he was only rostered in like 30% of leagues, so I just had to throw Trey Tucker on here. Tyler Lockett is now on the Raiders. Jacoby Myers looks like he could be traded. Trey Tucker steps up as the wide receiver 1, and somebody has to catch balls for this Las Vegas Raiders team. Colson Loveland looked semi-decent. I think he caught 3 balls. I think it's only going to go up from here with Cole Kmet's injury lurking. We really don't know what's going to happen with Cole Kmet. Colson Loveland, I think, is on the rise. Xavier Hutchinson, if Nico Collins is continuing to miss time, I don't think he will, but he has a concussion. You saw Noel, Higgins, and Hutchinson all eat against the 49ers, but Hutchinson obviously has been there the longest, knows Stroud the most. I trust him more than the other 2 rookies, to be honest. And Emmanuel Wilson, who not only scored equal points to Josh Jacobs, he ran more yards than him, got way more rush attempts, not way more rush attempts, but equal rush attempts with him. So it was just a little weary to be in that conversation with Emmanuel Wilson, Josh Jacobs. But yeah, fellas, that's all I got. Make sure to like and subscribe down below and check out Dabble Fantasy. I hope you guys win your waiver wire week 9. I'm out.